Hey, how y'all doing? This is the fairy godmother Ashley coming to y'all with a 2021, I guess, happy new year and what's up? Oh, I hope y'all are having an exceptional day. I just wanted to drop a quick video and talk to y'all, and it ain't gonna be long. I don't want it to be long, no how, but so we're in 2021. We had this big crazy pandemic that took the world. So now socially we have a lot of things that are falling into our lap that we normally wouldn't want to deal with. And to be perfectly honest though, it was always there. We just didn't want to deal with it and sit with it and be with it. But guess what? You can't run from it no more. And sometimes we find ourselves a little bit hesitant with it. But I'm here to let you know it's okay to talk. It's okay to talk. It's okay to let it out. It's okay to go find the right people to let it out with, too, on top of that. Like, learn who is, I wouldn't say trustworthy, but learn who is going to help you in a way where if you do get in your feelings about what they are saying it to you with love, okay? Like that, I can't say that enough. Like, don't put yourself into a space that you know damn well that they gonna say some shit to you that's gonna hurt your feelings and it's gonna piss you off, and they're saying it in such an arrogant way and in such a non-uplifting way. Like, and then sometimes if you do feel like you have found someone who does this but they still sound like they are in their in their superiority complex or whatever, then that's just like, well, then find somebody new, boo, because it's 2021. Like, we're at the brink now where it's like you can't. All of us, all of us cannot run from our healing anymore. And okay, so one, I'm a spiritualist, or just I do what I do. I don't really. I mean, I wouldn't call it a name because there's no need for a name for it. It's just I know when I need to go to spirit, if I need to go to God, if I need to do what the hell I need to do for me, okay? But when I say it in that sense, that's not just for, enlightenment or for me to feel better or for me to be one with nature and all that. No, there's a deeper meaning to that still. There's a deeper meaning to it still. Namely because when you have a problem in your life, what is the best thing you ought to do? You got to solve the problem. If you have an issue with something, what's the best thing you can do? Fix the issue. So, not coming from a spiritual standpoint, healing can take place in your life on a mundane level, especially when it comes to areas in your life. And I would like to actually take up the toll for socially. Right now, we are in the throes and the embrace of having to deal with COVID. And not for nothing, not only are we dealing with COVID, we're also dealing with we can't be around each other. We can't go to work. We can't go to the grocery store. I mean, you can do those things, but now you're having to do it in such a way where you got to be careful. You got to look after yourself. You got to look after the family. You got to look out for everyone else around you. And yeah, that's pretty freaking stressful. Like, pretty. Not to mention, we were already, how do I say it? We were already at odds with one another if we were really consciously available there to see it. Like, socially, we, we have socially acceptable groups that we put ourselves in, but on the larger, bigger scale, nah. If we, because now we're being forced out of those groups, now we're having to be by ourselves and sit with who we are. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if anything, that's where the best healing starts. And that's typically what you have to anyway, especially when you want to come out and take care and look after the community. You start where you are. You have to. So, so socially, we, right now, it's about to be Black History Month, but of course, Black History is 365 days of the year, here. We're gonna be, and it's not to say that this wasn't already popping off even before, Black History Month came around. Like, it's been here. It's been here. And it's like a lot of us have been ignoring it, and right now, you can't ignore this no more. Like, There is a truth that has to be found, and you have to admit it. You have to figure out if you want to keep it, and then if you don't, release it and work for something new and better. Like on 100 on that. Um, and I am speaking, well, actually, no, it goes more with, it's not just racially, but it's also financially, socially, um, shoot, what's the other one? Emotionally and mentally. Like, we have to be able to be the force in our lives to identify with what is hurting us and ailing us, and then be responsible enough to go fix it and tend to it and figure out what it is that keeps sparking our anger, keeps sparking our sadness, that keeps sparking whatever it is that is triggering us. I'm gonna let y'all. I would like to say, excuse me, y'all. I'm laughing just because I'm trying not to make it sound so dramatic, but it quite is. You know, we all got trauma. Like, I'm dead ass gonna have to say it just like that. We all fucking got trauma. Whether you are black, whether you're white, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you are living in Afghanistan, or you're living over here in the U.S., or you're living in Hawaii, or you live in Australia. We all have trauma. Okay? And that's okay. And I have to bring it up like this is because we have old things inside of us that we have to tend to, that we have to release, that will enable us to move forward and be better at who we are and what we are. Okay? And whatever and however that shows up for you is for you. Okay? Cool beans. That there's no one here to judge you on your life. There's no one here to tell you you have to do this, because you can do whatever you want. I'm not here to do that at all. But I am here if there's something that you feel like that you got to get out of you. Yeah, I'm gonna ask tough questions, because that's what has to be done. I'm gonna start with race right now, just because, one, I am a black woman with two beautiful black parents who have two beautiful black parents. So yes, I come from a good lineage of black people. All right. But initially, when people look at me, I get the stigmatism of, oh, you light skinned, you think you cute. Oh, you light skinned, you must be fucking bougie. And I'm just like, okay. Or actually, some people still call me red bone. I'm like, oh, you must be mixed. You got some white in you. I'm like, I do, but it is like some centuries old in me. Like, as you can see right now, I'm brown, baby. Brown as the earth. But I know when people say stuff like that to me, it's not directed at me. I know it's where they are currently and how they see their own acceptability within their own race. And not for nothing, then when I leave my own community, I go into, let's say, the white community, because we're all neck and neck on this one. What I get handed to me then is, you're so different than other people. You're so just, I feel like I can talk to you about certain things, and I just want to apologize. I'm just like, wait, what? You'd be surprised what some people will tell you. If you give them enough comfort and non-judgmental zone, and that's exactly what I am. But in that same breath as I am doing that, I do encourage you to sit with what is coming up, and sit with it in a way where you figure out if that's really what you want to be about. I have no issue with anybody who comes to me, unless, and I have to say this one more time, unless you choose to not live in harmony and peace with me. Because once you start disturbing mine and you're in my camp, you gotta go. I don't care who you are. You gotta go. Gotta go. But let me come back to the topic at hand. Basically, socially, when it comes to race, we're still having to deal with, for my community specifically, acceptance and being empowered. and feeling love for where we are. But then we have these, I'm going to use this one for right now because this is the most recent one that I had encountered. And to this brother, big respects, because you took what I said and you felt the love in what I had said, and you didn't take it no different way. White people and black people, I have to talk to you on this one because it means a lot to me right now that you understand this, because the things we say come from a place of either denial or denial, shame, guilt, sometimes even just pure bliss, ignorance, and that's okay. But as long as you know what you are saying and you are held accountable for what you are saying, then by all means, that's when, once you're held accountable, then you're responsible for what comes afterward. Because we were born into all of this, okay? We weren't we weren't the ones over here in the background mixing shit up and whatever. I get it. I fucking get it. But I was born here. I was born in this body. So because I'm born into this, this is what I have to deal with. And for anybody who feels like, they're they don't have to answer for their ancestors, well, guess what, baby? You are your ancestors. So you still have to deal with it. You still have to deal with, this is what you were handed. This is what you were handed. They're not expect, if you are a white person and you feel a certain type of way, that you don't want to feel shame or you don't want to feel guilt for, what your ancestors did, that's cool. Ain't nobody asking you to. What we the fuck are asking you to do is sit with your fucking truth. Excuse me for cussing. And I think I've been cussing for a good bit. But no, sit with your truth, okay? You were raised this way. So 9 times out of 10, stop denying it. It's there. We ain't mad at you. We ain't trying to hurt you. We ain't trying to judge you. But you got to be aware of what the fuck you were raised on. Just like we got to be aware of what we were raised on. Okay? When you say this statement, we don't, why do we always have to talk about color? Why do we always have to talk about color? Why do we have to talk about race? The problem with this statement is when you start denying what you have an issue with, then you put a blanket over it and try to be all kumbaya and in love and enlightened shit. No. Dig that up. Uproot that. And see all the little critters underneath there that have been festering and growing and created a whole little community. And I know I went on nature on that. But you know how you turn over a big ass rock and you find all sorts of shit underneath it? It's just that same scenario. You got little things festering underneath that whole big rock. And it's okay. Okay? When you say, why do we have to see color? Color is important because color has been important for the past, I'm going to just say 400 years right now because I'm pretty sure it's probably been a lot more important since then. But yeah, when you ask people not to be seen or represented as they are, you're asking them to deny something about themselves. Therefore, you are asking them to not feel accepted with who they are. Okay? We all are human, or, well, you know what? Let me not say that. We are all beings. Let's just say that. Okay? We're all fucking beings. We can say that. We're all fucking alive. We can say that. But because we are all beings and we're all fucking alive, we're still full of shit. We still have things that are inside of us that we have to answer for and take care of. Anyway, long story short, just socially, we're at the place now where it's like, you were in these comfort spaces and these comfort zones, and now that you're with your family, with your grandparents, with your parents, now is the time for you to sit down and have these conversations. Be like, so, what was the value of, grandma and grandpa teaching y'all about people and human life and, or just life period? Do you think, or do you feel that, white people are better than black people? Do you feel that white people can do X, Y, and Z? And there's nothing wrong with y'all having those conversations. Same with black people doing the same thing. We have to tend to our trauma the way we know how with each other first before we can go out and just be spewing all these enlightenment shits that come out left and right. I get what the fuck you are saying, but the point blank I'm trying to make is you can't do that with someone who ain't there. You gotta start where they are. If a white person feel like that race is not an issue, That's where you start with their asses. If a black person feel like, black women are ain't shit, or black men ain't shit, then you start with them right there. You don't go off of, oh, you're this, you're a spirit, you're supposed to be doing this, you should feel that, you should get rid of this, and you should get rid of that. And those are all very good tips and very good advice, but it does nothing for the person if they can't see where you're coming from. I know I should. That was a long pause, but I think I made my point when I said that. There's no point in helping someone where they can't see where you are coming from. Meet them where they are and be compassionate and have empathy with the whole 9 miles. Now, if you are not unable to sit with yourself, or even just want to go have those tough conversations with your family and friends, who are you to come up on somebody and tell them you should do X, Y, and Z? Because the proof shows up when you can do the work for you. And that's all we really ask of, and that's all we really should ask of ourselves in the beginning anyway. And guess what? When you are able to sit and talk to yourself, and you are able to talk to your family and see exactly where you are emotionally, mentally built upon, guess what? You're working on your healing. You're working on your healing. For us in the black community, a lot of us, it's really just our voices keep being silent. So when I'm around my mothers and my grandmothers, I let them speak. They might say some wacky shit, but I let them speak. I let them speak. I let them say what they got to say. I let them know that I'm here for them. And that's where I let them, and that's where you start. That's like one of the best places. And then when they say something a little bit more profound, you can be like, all right, so you said this. Why did you say this? Or how did you come to this decision making when you did this? And if you're not able to do that for them, then at least do it for yourself. It's 2021, and growing up, we don't have the luxury of just sitting around and acting childish anymore. We all have to grow up now at this point. Plenty of grown-ups walking around acting like children. And I'm not saying that to, be judgmental or discredit, you as an adult. But the way we handle ourselves says everything. The way we handle ourselves says everything. So if you're not prepared to, elevate or do what you need to do for you, or even just to solve your own problems and issues, I can't tell you nothing else, boo. Okay, this chair is getting uncomfortable. And it was nice sitting outside with the birds and the chime, and there's one person who now is pulling off in this van. Anyway, that's all I had to say today, so I'll talk to y'all later.